Have you ever seen an ant carry something 10 times its size and thought, wow, how is that even possible? Or watched a trail of ants moving with perfect coordination as if they share one single mind? These tiny creatures, often overlooked or even squashed, are quietly carrying ancient wisdom about life, purpose, and connection, if we only stop to look. Ants. Most of us think of them as little invaders of our kitchen counters or unwanted picnic guests. But today, I want to invite you into a completely different perspective, one that might just shift how you see not only ants, but your life. What if I told you that ants are more than just insects? What if they're tiny spiritual teachers, walking right beneath our feet, offering powerful insights about teamwork, perseverance, mindfulness, and even karma? You see, in many ancient cultures and spiritual traditions, ants are considered messengers, beings of discipline and unity. And as strange as it sounds, watching an ant can teach you more about how to live in harmony with yourself and the world than reading a dozen self-help books. So in this video, we'll explore the mysterious, meaningful world of ants. And by the end, I promise you'll never look at them the same way again. Let's be honest. Most of us don't exactly celebrate when we see ants in our homes. We reach for the spray, set traps, or sweep them away like they're nothing more than annoying pests. And culturally, we're conditioned to overlook or even despise the smallest creatures. Our fast-paced world rewards size, flashiness, and speed. So what place does a slow, nearly invisible insect have in our spiritual life? But here's the irony. The very qualities that make ants annoying in our daily lives, like their persistence, their numbers, their refusal to quit, are the exact same traits that can illuminate powerful lessons if we're willing to pause and pay attention. The challenge, then, is perception. We're not taught to see insects as spiritual symbols. We think of transformation, and we picture butterflies. We talk about strength, and we imagine lions. But ants, they live underground. They don't dazzle, and yet they hold sacred teachings in their simplicity. So today, we're going to flip the script. We're going to see ants not as pests, but as tiny monks, living with incredible wisdom. Because sometimes the most powerful messages come from the humblest messengers. Let's go a little deeper into the tiny world of ants. On the surface, they may look simple, but when we truly observe their behavior, we uncover a treasure chest of spiritual symbolism. These aren't just bugs scurrying around on the ground. They're living parables, whispering ancient truths through their tiny actions. Ants are the embodiment of collective harmony. An average colony can host thousands, sometimes even millions of individuals. Yet despite these overwhelming numbers, they function like a single organism. No ant is trying to be the CEO. No one's competing to be the star. There's no visible leader barking commands. Instead, they work together through shared instinct, chemical signals, and trust in the rhythm of their roles. In Buddhist philosophy, there's a concept called interbeing, the understanding that everything is connected. The air we breathe, the food we eat, even our thoughts and actions, they ripple outward. The ants show us this with clarity. They survive not through strength alone, but through cooperation, mutual care, and shared purpose. One ant can't move a mountain, but a colony can change landscapes. Spiritually, it's a gentle reminder that we are never truly alone. We thrive when we help each other. That's not weakness, it's sacred design. Have you ever tried to stop a line of ants? Maybe you blocked their path or tried cleaning their trail, only to find them back the next day, taking a new route, just as determined. There's something unshakable about them. They keep going. They adapt. They persevere. And they do it without complaint, without ego. This, to me, is the definition of spiritual resilience. In our own lives, we face setbacks, confusion, and obstacles. But the ants teach us that progress isn't always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's about quietly trying again, and again, and again. Until one day, we realize we've come a long way. Their small footsteps echo a deep truth. Don't be discouraged by the size of your progress, just keep walking. Each act of patience, each mindful decision, each time we choose kindness over anger, it all adds up, just like an ant moving a grain of sand. Here's something fascinating. Ants don't talk the way we do, but they're incredible communicators. They use pheromones, chemical sense, to guide, warn, and inform each other. And they do it seamlessly. Watch a trail of ants, and you'll see how they pause, gently touch antennae, and move on, always alert, always in tune with the collective. It's a form of wordless awareness, like a silent meditation in motion. They don't act randomly. Each step has intention. It's a beautiful lesson in mindfulness. Be present. Be aware of your path. Tune in to others without the need to speak. In a noisy world full of distractions, the ant reminds us of the power of presence. That stillness can be action. That silence can be communication. That awareness is connection. Ants live without clutter. No extra decoration. No hoarding. Everything they do is aligned with a greater purpose. Every movement contributes to the collective well-being of the colony. Spiritually, this reflects the essence of dharma, the idea that each being has a natural path or role. Ants don't question their purpose. They just live it, fully and faithfully, without needing applause, without craving reward. They teach us the beauty of doing what you're meant to do, even if no one is watching. To live simply, to act without attachment, to give your energy to something greater than yourself, not out of duty, but out of love. And perhaps that's the most profound spiritual insight of all. You don't need to be big or loud to be powerful. You just need to be in harmony with your purpose, like the ant. Let me take you into the life of someone you've likely heard of, Sir David Attenborough, the legendary naturalist and documentary filmmaker. While filming one of his earlier nature series in the rainforests of South America, Attenborough recalled an unexpected, almost meditative moment. The crew was stuck waiting for equipment repairs, and instead of resting, he sat beside a giant tree root and began watching a colony of army ants go about their work. What struck him wasn't their size or appearance. It was their intelligent coordination, their ability to sacrifice the individual for the good of the group, and how they would build living bridges out of their own bodies to help others pass over gaps or obstacles. Later in an interview he shared, there was something almost spiritual about it. I remember thinking, if we as humans could cooperate with such selflessness without ego, just imagine what kind of world we could create. That moment didn't just make it into his show. It reshaped the way he spoke about ecosystems. He began to emphasize the interconnectedness of life, the unseen webs of collaboration that sustain the planet. It's a powerful reminder. Sometimes the smallest creatures carry the biggest teachings. For Attenborough, the ants weren't just insects, they were mirrors, reflecting the potential of humanity when we act not as isolated individuals, but as conscious parts of a greater whole. So next time you see an ant, pause. It may be your own invitation to awaken to something greater. So what have we learned from our six-legged spiritual teachers? Ants are more than pests. They are messengers of purpose, unity, and discipline. They show us that great power can come from small acts done consistently. They remind us that strength lies in community, that clarity comes from simplicity, and that progress is made step by tiny step. In a world full of noise and ego, the ant teaches us to stay low, stay humble, and stay purposeful. They don't ask for applause. They don't need the spotlight. And yet, their entire existence is a masterclass in how to live in alignment with nature, with service, and with soul. Now I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever had a strange or powerful moment involving ants? Something that made you pause and wonder? Drop your story in the comments. And if this video resonated with you, check out our next episode on the spiritual meaning of spiders, scorpions, and wasps. You'll be surprised what other tiny teachers are trying to get your attention. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who might need a little wisdom from the ground up.